In chapter 2, Dr. Thurman gets into the high cost of the lies we believe. He says we pay for pretty much everything in life. When it comes to the things we buy, we pay a designated price. We pay a price in our relationships if we don't treat each other well. We pay a price at work for decisions we make. We pay a price when it comes to what we eat. But we pay no higher price in life than that of a distorted view of reality. The lies we believe are especially costly because they generate toxic feelings of shame that damage us spiritually, psychologically, relationally, and physically. They damage us spiritually by causing us to run from God. Psychologically, they give birth to emotional and behavioral problems. Relationally, they keep us in bondage to unhealthy interactions with others, and physically, they lead us to abuse and damage our bodies. Read a devotion my wife sent me from a pastor and that she gets on a daily basis, and it was about the pastor had a friend who had to have a hip replacement. Afterwards, he was still limping. Gone through his therapy. Everything was going along. They told him there's no reason you should be limping. Then he went to a different therapist. That therapist said, easy, we need to retrain your brain. And within 24 hours, they had retrained the brain, and he was no longer limping. It seems a little bit absurd, but the brain was still thinking. I mean, just because there had been surgery on the hip, the brain didn't understand it wasn't supposed to be. The brain was getting ready for pain, so it was causing the limp, and they retrained that. I've got another book I'm fond of reading bits and pieces of on and off, and it talks about back pain. I've had severe back pain. Ever since I can remember, at least, and since I was in the Navy. And I found out that the brain can cause pain in certain parts of the body to keep us from having emotional issues. So the brain's thinking, I don't want to deal with this emotional issue, so I'm going to cause pain in the lower back. The brain, the mind, it's powerful. And the reality that it believes is causing us to react the way we do. 90% or more of everything we think every day is repetitive. We're thinking the same thoughts over and over and over again. We have to get creative to think new thoughts. But yet the older we get, the more logically we think. The part of our brain that thinks logically is more active than the creative part of our brain. And we get deep prayer from the creative part of our brain. But yet it's diminishing as we get older. I'm turning 65 in a few months. By natural causes, I should be thinking more logical than I am creative. So therefore, I work to be more creative. The lies we believe. Second book my wife saw me buy 33 years ago by Dr. Sham Henstetter. He was on the he was real early in the neuroplasticity practices. Neuroplasticity, it probably wasn't even a word 30 years ago. But here in The Lies We Believe with Dr. Chris Thurman, he gives a model. He gives a model of how to reframe our reactions, to turn them into healthy responses, to stop believing lies that are keeping us from being who God made us to be. Have a great day.